Hello, we are back with Goal 7 in the 8 Millennium Goals. Goal 7, we're going to be talking about ensuring environmental stability. To begin again, we'll start with a background of environmental issues in Ecuador that have happened, and we'll move on to challenges and solutions like we did in Goal 6. So, with a background, only 18% of Ecuador's landscape is protected environments for the growth and development of habitats and ecosystems, and to promote a healthy ecosystem. Looking at these Google tours, you can see that almost half of Ecuador is forested areas that carry a lot of species, and these species are extremely diverse, and a lot of them are exclusive to Ecuador, and therefore can become extinct very easily by pollution and other means if not carefully monitored. 100% of the drinking water that is used in Quito, the Ecuador's capital, and a lot of other cities in Ecuador comes from the Andean creeks and rivers. That being said, this resource is extremely important. So this is a key factor when talking about the issues of pollution in the water and in the wildlife. Many of the protected lands are there because of the efforts made by the Kafian indigenous. Those are local tribes that inhabit the wilderness between the Amazon and the Andes, much like a lot of other tribes with names that are hard to pronounce. These tribes realize the damage that's being done in the environment and strive to improve it no matter what. They struggle with the pollution that's just so prominent by people who don't have proper sewage and trash disposal. This leads us to challenges. So let's give a little background on this main challenge that I found when I was researching the challenges on environmental stability. Oil is a huge export in Ecuador, and the exportation of oil can often harm wildlife and endanger species if it's unsafe and unmonitored. Beginning in the early 1800s, there was a company called Texaco. This company, now referenced as Chevron, is an oil company that has drilled out of Ecuador a significantly amount. Chevron drilled in Ecuador not understanding the environmental impact it would have, and many believe not caring the environmental impact it would have because it's not an American continent or an American country. As well as drilling, they also dump the toxic waste from the drill into the oceans and rivers in Ecuador, polluting their only source of drinking water. This practice has been long ago in America, it has been declared as illegal, which isn't illegal in Ecuador yet. However, Chevron, the local oil company, deliberately dumps around 4 million gallons of toxic water. It's extremely harmful to the environment. This is the main and hottest topic in the preservation of the environment in Ecuador, and as one can view below or above the pictures in Goal 7, it affects species ranging from frogs to monkeys to wild cats in polluted areas. The picture above is of a couple of tree frogs that were polluted by this oil waste. The reason that Chevron dumps this toxic waste in Ecuador is because it saves them from $3 of gas profit. However, this practice is illegal, as I said before, in America because of the risk of damage it poses on the environment. And not only does it affect the animals, it also poses a health threat for the indigenous. And it can poison their drinking water, causing disease, diarrhea, and even life-claiming cancer. So if we were to figure out a way to ensure environmental stability, it would also help with Goal 6 in combating many diseases that are prominent in Ecuador and are spread through the toxic drinking water that the people have no other choice but to drink because it's the only source of drinking water that they have. Some solutions to this unsafe drinking water is that petitions have been held to protest the dumping of toxic waste, and trials have been held to end the toxic dumping, and these have been more recent endeavors. These have benefited Ecuador in inciting action out of Chevron to change the way that they handle their waste from the oil. So they've cleaned up a significant amount since they began to drill there. But efforts are still being made by volunteers and groups to better the environment. A lot of the groups also have found innovative ways to learn how to filter the water so that if it has been polluted, it can then be cleansed by different technological innovations to then again have clean drinking water. So thus far we've talked about the background, the challenges, and the solutions of Goal 7, ensuring environmental stability, and we will then move on to Goal 8, which talks about maintaining a global partnership for development, and which will also reiterate back to Goal 7, ensuring environmental stability, because if we work as local groups and governmental impacts, we can improve the environment, therefore improving healthcare and improving the lives of Ecuadorians overall. I hope to see you in my next video to learn about how we can make an impact by coming together in global partnerships for development.